Hey everybody, welcome back to BVMC 101.8, Waking Up with the Bear. I'm Nasty Nick, and this is the Bear. What's going on, Bear? How you been, man? I feel like you're on vacation last week. I feel like, I feel like I've grown so far from you. What's going on? What's new? Yeah, man. I know, but I'm just trying to make conversation with you. I know we text all the time, but I just wanted to, talk it up with everybody. Yeah, well, when you ask like questions like that, you just kind of supposed to respond with something, your pleasantries. You say something happy. Don't talk about like, I know your son's really sick, but like we're on the air right now. You don't really need to. You're kind of bringing everyone down. It's supposed to be like a morning radio show. You're. Hey, don't. Hey. Hey. Not now, alright? Let's just listen. Bear? Bear. Listen. Alright. I'm gonna play. Hey. I'm gonna play Taylor Swift. New single. We're gonna talk about this. And we're gonna give it another go, okay? Yeah, no, yeah, I know. Everyone heard all of that. I know. I understand. Yeah, all right. Just hit the button, man. Hit Bad Blood. Come on.
Wait, you can't play that.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna just play the first 15 seconds.
You can't play that. Taylor Swift called us. We're still in the middle of that lawsuit.
Oh, is it the whole like she's only gonna play her music on Apple Music or whatever because the ghost of Steve Jobs wrote her a check for $10 billion?
Yes.
Damn it.
You can't.
Curse you, ghost of Steve Jobs.
This is Bear's Mancast.
Yeah.
We play video games and then we talk about them.
Yeah, it's a podcast about video games. I thought that the title of this podcast made that abundantly clear, but some people just don't get it.
It's okay. Some people aren't in on the subtle nuances.
They're not hip.
Yeah, they're not. Get them out of here.
No, wait, come back. Listen to us.
Listen to us. We're lonely.
Please, we need someone to listen to us, or then there's no point in doing this. Just kidding. Hey, I'm Nick.
I'm Steve. Shit.
That's not even... God damn it. That's not even...
It's not even my fake name.
That's not even the real fake name.
My name's Stan.
You just try to upset me. Dude, get it together, man.
Ryan. Hello.
I know. Yeah, we both had long days at work today.
I did.
We're going to push through it. I did too. Been a long week for me.
It's been
Hey, you want to hear? Okay.
No.
You want to know what I did 2 nights ago?
Was it get belligerently drunk?
No.
Was it pee in an alley?
Did you do both of those things?
No.
I thought you were like maybe projecting, because those sounds like things that you might have done on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
No, I watched a Dragon Ball Z movie.
Which one?
I was in a movie theater when I watched it.
Shut the fuck up.
Watched a Dragon Ball Z movie in a movie theater. It was fucking awesome.
Wow.
It's the newest movie, Resurrection F, just came out.
Really?
Sort of a direct continuation of Battle of Gods from, I think, like 2 years ago or so, give or take. It was great.
That sounds like fun.
It was a lot of fun. It wasn't even like it's like a two night showing thing. We went on the first of the 2 nights. It wasn't even like packed or anything. I mean, there were plenty of people who were clearly there to like you're standing around the lobby and you're like, that guy's here to see Dragon Ball Z and that guy's here to see Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, it wasn't even packed. Every movie theater in the area has got all those comfy chairs now, so I was chilling, man. It's good old fashioned Dragon Ball Z fun. And apparently, this is like the last missing link of the story between Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, which is, as I'm sure you know, the directly canonical sequel to Dragon Ball Z.
Is that the one that's the new one?
Yeah, it's that also started airing really recently. Not to be confused with GT, which is like a weird Dragon Ball GT was like this weird like time skippy loose interpretation of the future thing. Like it was a spin-off. But Super is like the creators like, no, this is what this is. This is the real sequel to Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Picks up right where, well, these two movies. Like I think like the show begins with a recap of the two movies. So Dragon Ball is back, man.
That's a weird thing to be saying.
Yeah, it really is. I really never thought I would say I went to go see a Dragon Ball Z movie in a movie theater.
Yeah.
For like so many different reasons.
Yeah, that's legit.
But boy, am I glad I did. It was awesome.
Hey, that's fun. That sounds like fun.
Hey, did you know that it is August 6th?
No.
As of recording? And we play video games.
No.
Did you play any video games?
No.
Okay.
That's not true. I played some video games.
This podcast is... Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was going to say, you had plenty of time to do it with. I feel like I started playing Sony video games as soon as we stopped recording last week. I've been like keeping it all held up inside me for so long.
I feel like I've been playing not that many video games, and I haven't been keeping it bottled inside.
Well, you've been perfecting your Pokemon speedruns.
In a way.
Have you been streaming the attempts online for all of your followers to watch?
No, not yet. I'm not ready yet.
All right, well, you're getting there.
Maybe.
You don't, like... As someone who streams even, like, full-time, still, like, almost all of their streams are garbage.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't really have to worry about not being good enough to stream. Like, that's not the point.
It's mostly about I can't get like a sub 4-hour run on this game that's supposed to be 2 hours. And
because you started doing Fire Red, right?
Yeah, I switched because the beginning of Pokemon X is such a fucking bullshitty nightmare that if you don't get a good run, a good start to your run, it's the difference between like an extra 15 minutes on the front end, and it's just it's so disheartening. It sucks.
I mean, that whole like I didn't catch a Hawlucha with my one luxury ball.
Well, it's actually the Bunnelby. The Bunnelby is a big bummer sometimes.
I'm not even sure I know what that is.
It's a bunny.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, it's a bunny. You trade it for a Farfetch. We talked about this last week. But now I'm doing Fire Red. It's going pretty okay. The hardest part is getting a good Squirtle. Because it's entirely random.
Doesn't that inherently make it just like a really shitty game to run?
No. So what I'm doing is I have a good Squirtle, and I have a save that is just right after I get the Squirtle. So I can keep trying over and over again to not waste a whole bunch of time just trying to get good Squirtles. Yeah. So, but you need like a very specific kind of Squirtle because otherwise he doesn't get like enough stats to 1 and 2 shot most things that he fights.
So you pretty much just restart the game over and over till you have a Squirtle with stats that you consider good enough?
Yep. All it needs to have a certain amount of attack, special attack, and speed to kind of just make sure that it can go first and kill the thing that it needs to do in one hit. So the thing about Fire Red speedrun that is really, really interesting is almost the whole time you're trying to keep your Squirtle/Blastoise in Torrent, which if you don't know is when...
I know.
Well, other people might not know.
No,
This is a podcast.
We're having a discussion right now. You asked me if I knew.
Torrent.
No, we didn't.
Torrent is when you have a third of your match. When you're at 1/3 of your max HP, your water moves go up by 1.5. Which is super cool because it does a buttload of damage. So like the whole time you're playing this run, you're trying to like keep up Torrent, but then also not die. So there's an interesting balance there. But like a torrented Squirtle does buttloads of damage and it's fun. So I'm working on that. It's pretty okay.
So you made me think of something interesting when you mentioned the whole idea of just restarting the game over and over to get a Squirtle. Yep. It reminds me of this guy who at one point had the world record for Dark Souls any percent, and his entire run is predicated on killing this one enemy that he would run to at the beginning of the game and kind of cheesing him out, and then he would hopefully get him to drop a very powerful and rare weapon with a very low drop percentage. And if he got it, then the run would proceed.
So he had to like restart the game 100 times or more.
Yeah, so I mean, I wasn't watching him live or anything. I saw the recording of it after the fact, so I just got to see the successful attempt. But I was thinking, like, how must it feel to be like, all right, I've practiced this run X number of times for X number of hours. I know how to beat this game in 1 hour and get the world record if I execute flawlessly enough, and you're just like on. So you're like, all right, I'm going to go in. I'm going to go get the weapon. I'm going to get the drop, and you're like nerves of steel. Like you're at the top. Like you're like honed in, and you're ready, and you keep not getting the drop over and over. Restart, not get the drop. Restart, and then suddenly, like 20 times later, you're like, oh man, this drop is taking forever. I don't really know what this is. And then it happens, and you're just like, oh shit, my world record attempt just started, basically.
Yeah.
And you have to turn it into serious mode. I was like, that is, I don't know, I don't think it's like, I just think that's so remarkable. Like, that's like a really super crazy speedrun thing that only, like, that's like a feeling that a very select group of people choose to feel.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm fascinated by that idea of just like, I'm just gonna do this thing. All right. Oh, yep. Okay, time to go. And like trying to make every action count and just do this.
That's kind of how I felt restarting for that Squirtle. It's very much the same thing where you kind of just are half paying attention, and your run only starts when you look at the Squirtle stats, and it's good.
I watched a second of maybe like a solid like 30, 40 minutes of the 100% Chrono Trigger run at the end of Summer Games Done Quick 2015. Yep. And they said that like runs have ended over people getting complacent and pressing A too many times.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, well, first of all, if you choose to fight Magus, you're completely fucked, especially because that's like 2 hours into the 100% run. Because if you don't have Magus, like first of all, you don't want to add any fights you don't have to your speed run. Right. And also, Magus is the key to killing a lot of enemies quickly. So if you fight him instead of adding him to your party, then you done fucked up.
Yeah.
Right then and there. Also, the Rainbow Shell side quest. You get the Rainbow Shell, and then you can turn it into 3 prism hats or 1 prism dress. Do you remember that at all?
I do, yeah.
Apparently, the default option is 1 prism dress, and if you take that one, you're just fucked.
Yeah, totally.
Like you need to have those 3 hats for everyone to wear for status protection against the last boss or something like that.
Yeah, otherwise you're fucked.
And so basically, you just get that far into the game, you're just like mashing A, and then you select 1 prism dress. You're like, all right, well, that was the entire run. I'll just throw that in the garbage now.
Yeah, that happens, and
I feel like there's potential for that to happen in Pokemon as well.
Oh no,
maybe not so much.
No, you'd be surprised. So I was doing a run of Fire Red, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, and I fought 2 trainers I wasn't supposed to, and the time it took me to get to Lieutenant Surge between yesterday, or my first run that I actually tried to go through and my second run that I actually tried to go to was like literally 25 minutes. That's how long those like 3 trainers put me back. So yeah, that stuff happens all the time. And my biggest problem with any of these speedrunning things is, especially in Pokemon, is I hit the wall all the time. I just hit walls. Like I can't make my little dude.
Yeah, but how much time do you actually lose every time you hit a wall?
Many seconds.
A couple of seconds.
Well, in Fire Red, it's especially bad because the amount of like time it takes to turn like any form of 90 degrees is like a legit second. So like if you imagine you're navigating like the rock tunnel, what you do with no flash, because that would waste time when you can just kind of fumble your way through rock tunnel without flash. You'll figure it out. But
or just have it memorized.
Well, yeah, eventually you'll have it memorized. But there's all the times where you bump into a wall and you just like misstep and you turn. It adds minutes to your run that you just don't even think about until they're there, and you're like, when the fuck did I get these extra minutes? It's butts.
Yeah, okay, I can see
you
that.
know. So yeah, but I'm gonna keep working on it. I don't think hard. Like I'm not gonna like knuckle down and get a world record or anything, but you know I'm gonna keep going.
I feel like any run that's ever been done before, basically world records are based. Like obviously, you can shave off like 10 seconds to get a world record.
Yeah.
To like just by flawless execution. But I feel like really the world records are coming from people who are inventing new routes or finding different ways to beat the game instead of just looking at the world record and being like, I could do that, but a little bit faster.
I think there are people who are dedicated to finding routes, and then there are people who perfect those routes, and those are the people who get the world records. But there's like a lot of it seems like a lot of people when they were doing their runs during SGQ. There were a lot of people who were like, "Hey, this credit to such and such for coming up with the route for this game that I based mine on." So you know, that part's really cool. I'm into that.
Yeah, it just like if I were a speedrunner of any game and I saw someone get the world record and I watched it and I just like said to myself like, they did that perfectly, and I don't think I could ever. You know, like, oh, he bumped into one wall. Maybe I'll be able to not bump into that wall,
right,
and just do everything else flawlessly. I just be like, there's no point in trying to beat that. The only way I could ever beat that is if I care enough to find a new strat for a particular section. Just like watch it until I find a section that I go to like, you know what, this part is taking a while. This could probably get done faster a different way. That'd be like the only way that I could see really improving on anyone's time.
Yeah.
And then like beating them by like a minute is, or not like a minute, like if you just like flawlessly execute and you beat them by like a second, there's no there's no point to that, but that's so much less meaningful than like I made a new route, or like I took your route and I just did this particular tiny little skip thing. That saved me like 5 seconds.
Yep. Yeah, totally. It's sort of like, what are you speedrunning for? Are you speedrunning for yourself, or are you speedrunning to like get world records? Because for me, it's all about just I want to do the thing as fast as I can. You know, rather than the world record in Pokemon Fire Red is 2 hours 8 minutes. I'm like, I'm never gonna fucking do that. There's no way. Maybe if I do it a bunch of times.
Have you played it at all to completion?
I did it once. It took me 4 hours and 15 minutes. I was pretty okay. I was pretty okay with that.
Probably, yeah. I think that's not terrible for a speedrun of a Pokemon game.
Yeah.
I feel like if you just keep practicing, it'll go down.
Yeah.
But, it's weird because those games, like a lot of people practice games in segments, like you did
with X. Yeah.
But I feel like maybe for Pokemon games, you might get more use out of just playing the whole damn thing over and over.
Yeah, I wanted to see. How long it took me to beat the game using the route that I was working off of.
Mm-hmm.
Just to know. And like I said, there's a lot of trainers that I fought that I didn't need to fight, and there's a lot of walls that I bumped into, and so I definitely know how I can improve my shit.
Good.
Yeah.
Now you just gotta do it.
And I just gotta do it.
Yeah. In the wake of SGDQ, I decided to. I just picked up the 3DS version of Majora's Mask, and I was like, I'm never gonna do any of the crazy shit that guy did with like manipulating the in-game clock, using hot spring water or something. But I was just like, I just want to do that. He did like a backflip, and it allowed him to jump up onto the clock tower door without having to do the whole moon tier thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I looked up how to do that, and I did that.
Nice.
And I was like, fuck yeah.
That's dope.
It's called a gainer. It's a forward backflip.
Mm-hmm.
You have to like backflip and then immediately let go of the targeting button and the control stick, and then press the targeting button again really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll allow you to like flip around. Apparently, Zora Link is particularly good at it because he's so tall.
Mm-hmm.
He can grab like it basically allows you to just have a sweet vertical, just like jump up to ledges that you're never supposed to reach.
Nice. Okay.
And for the Deku Shrub, that just happens to be like the size of a ledge that a normal human being can reach.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to do that to get to it. But you can like jump. I think I saw a clip of the Zora in the game doing one of those and grabbing onto like the cliff above the shops, like above the Arrow Gallery and the Honey and Darling shop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like that. I'm like, it's like a 1-story leap. And he does some other skips that allow him to get all the masks like right away, and subsequently get the hook shot for the first temple. And so I'm not interested in doing that quickly, but I love sequence breaking. Like
yeah, especially in those games, because the older ones are especially linear.
Yeah, what's funny? That's what is so great about it. I played Majora's Mask enough times to know like you get this, and then you get this, and you go here, and then you do that, and then And at one point, I took a lot of pride in playing Majora's Mask over again, and just my goal was to reset time as few times as possible.
Yep.
By maximizing, but also going for like a semi-complete run. It's like maximizing my time every day, being like, okay, well, I'm going to spend it's like, all right, well, I don't have to do any. I want to get the giant wallet on the third day, but I got a lot of time to kill before then. So the first day I'm going to do this and that, and and the other thing. It's like, oh, and on the day that I go and do the Pinnacle Rock stuff. I'm going to make sure I do this in between that and that because that's when that's available. I had a lot of fun doing it that way.
Yeah.
Now I want to just like I don't want to do it quickly, but I just want to break that game. So he did some really simple looking tricks, and the reason they look simple is because he was really good at them. And they're probably not as easy as I think they are. But one involved just kind of going to Snowhead, the entrance of Snowhead, where you have to shoot the icicle down from the ceiling with an arrow.
Yes.
To break the stuff below it. You just like you Z-target onto that thing, and then you just like sidestep to the right in a certain position, and you can just jump up onto the rock and like walk past the ice and just go into Snowhead before you've even been to the first temple. I bet it's not as easy as it looks, but I also bet it wouldn't take me that long to do that. Like enough, like maybe like an hour of practicing, I'd be able to get there.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
And then another one, you get the Goron mask, you take the choo-choo, you take a choo-choo, take him down to the beach, and you just punch him repeatedly. You punch him until he's down on the beach, because you can't kill choo-choos with punches. And then you go and you take him right to the wall. You have to use Epona to jump over to get to the beach. Take him right there, and then as soon as he's about to attack you, you curl into a ball, jump in the air, he hits you in midair, and launches you over the wall.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds I mean, it's obviously it is just hilarious to watch because it's sequence breaking a game that I know so well, and it also it doesn't look that hard. Like, I know I'm gonna be eating my words if I ever try it, and I can't do it, but it just really seems like it. I mean, obviously, it just seems simple. It's not like, okay, so like this. Did you? How much of How much of SGDQ did you watch?
As much as I could, work schedule permitting. I think I missed the Majora's Mask run entirely.
I believe you did.
Yeah.
Did you see anything on the last day, on the Saturday?
Not a lot.
Well, you should go back. I haven't watched all of it yet. You should go back and watch it.
Okay.
It's some good shit. The Super Mario 64, they called it any %, but it's more commonly the run's referred to as 1 star or 0 star.
Oh, just to get to the end without really doing much?
Yes. Okay. You have to beat all 3 Bowsers because the Bowser locked doors to each floor are load points.
Okay.
So you can't glitch through them because there is not anything on the other side of that wall until you use the key.
Oh, got it. Yep.
Because of RAM. So you do have to beat all 3 Bowsers.
Yep.
But of course they have the courses for each Bowser level like masterfully planned out.
Oh, of course.
And they just do a lot of like. One time I when I first saw like a awesome like good old fashioned sequence breaky glitchy run of Super Mario 64, it was like 3.5 years ago, and you had to have 16 stars to beat it because you need to get the bunny rabbit on the basement of the second floor, and you put him against the door to. What's the second water level? Is that Jolly Roger's Lagoon?
Fuck
no,
if I know.
Dire Docks.
Those are both levels.
Those are both levels for sure. I just don't know. So like the level that's a big ripply blue wall in front of the second Bowser level.
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Like you go into the second like the door in front of the Bowser level. The Bowser level is like a hole in the floor, but in front of it is like a big blue watery wall, and you jump into it, and it's a level.
No.
All right, you hate that game.
Yeah, I do.
So, anyways, you like that door. You need. You can glitch through the door by getting the rabbit. But the rabbit doesn't show up till you have like 16 stars or something like that. And you grab the rabbit, you put him on outside the door, and then you jump between the door and the rabbit. And the game is just like, what do I do with Mario? And just pushes you to the other side of the door.
Yeah, that sounds dope.
And they figured out a way that they don't need that rabbit anymore. Sometime in the past 3.5 years, they said, we don't need that rabbit. That rabbit sucks. And they stand on the stairs outside, like that are not even like, they're like perpendicular, and there's a banister in the way to this door, and they just do that backwards long jump thing that lets you get up the infinite stairs.
Yep.
And then when you hit it and you just keep mashing A and you're just like jumping every time you hit a stair, and you're like whoa 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 whoa, and you go like Mach 10, which is like the most quintessential like oldest Mario 64 trick in the book. You do that, but you're like sideways, and you start going so fast you hit a wall, and you're just still like your character's not moving, but the model is like flying, but you're up against a wall, so you just kind of like carefully deflect yourself so that you slide along the wall. You reach the door. The game doesn't know what to do. You just fly through it.
Yep.
And if you do it really well, you fly through that blue wall, and you don't have to enter the level, and you can just do the second Bowser world. Otherwise, you go into the level, you have to get 1 star, and then you can do the Bowser world. So there was 2 guys racing. One of them got the awesome way, like the 0 star way, and he flew past a level, and he was like freaking out because that apparently, like, he tried to put it in perspective of how often he's ever successfully done that, and he's like once in his lifetime.
Oh, that's amazing.
And he's doing it in a marathon setting.
That's fantastic.
They also apparently they both did it in under 10 minutes, and they said that to their knowledge, they didn't think that anyone had ever beaten that game at a marathon in less than 10 minutes. They both did it in like 8.5 or 9.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I was like, it was awesome. I was so happy for them. It's just, I love that stuff.
Yep.
And so when I found out about like this old run 3.5 years ago, my friend and I, we just like sat down and we played it using those glitches, and of course we were terrible at doing the glitches because we'd never done them before, but they totally worked. And it was super satisfying. I think it's even on my original cartridge of Mario 64. I have a version of the game that I have 16 stars, and I've beaten the game.
Awesome.
Which is just super neat.
Yeah.
Which is why I want to try this Majora's Mask stuff. But I've been playing a lot of other stuff. Because I once again cannot decide what I want to play.
Yes.
I know you've been struggling a little bit with this too.
I have. I think I figured it out. It's
what are you gonna play?
It's a combination threefold.
It's a combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell?
Yes, it's a Kentucky Hut.
Nope, didn't say anything about Kentucky Fried
Nope,
Chicken.
but mine's a Kentucky Hut.
Those are unicorns.
Mine's a Kentucky Hut.
Okay, so what's your Kentucky Hut?
Right now, it consists of Fire Red speedruns, which we've already talked about.
Okay.
I restarted The Witcher 3.
Oh, right.
It's going well.
How do you like the new movement system?
It's 7 out of 10.
What was the old one?
2 out of 10.
Jesus. Jeez.
It's still not great, but it's better. It makes me feel okay playing through that game.
Did you feel like Geralt is less drunk?
Yes. I still think the horse is drunk, but we're working on it.
Very possible. We do feed that horse like a shitload of liquor.
Yes. But the other more interesting thing that I'm doing is I'm learning how to play Street Fighter.
Now, what brought this about?
Well, as some people know, but not everybody knows, I've left my current raid team for reasons, and I'm not playing WoW right now. And there's definitely a void in my life where WoW used to be, and I'm trying to fill that void with something in the meantime.
And obviously, Street Fighter is the correct
So I was looking for a project. I was looking for something that I'm like, okay, I can measure success in this. So,
but not speedrunning.
Not speedrunning. That's just fun. That's a side thing that I think is fun. I don't think Street Fighter's fun, but I want to learn how to do it so I can make it fun. Because I think fighting games are super cool. It's like one of the most interesting things in video games, I think, but I suck at them. I'm fucking terrible at fighting games.
I feel really similarly about fighting games in general.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of fighting games I think are super cool and great.
Totally.
And I love them, but there's no point, because if you just buy a fighting game, you either play it through the one player, which is virtually pointless, or you can go play online where everyone's 100 times better than you.
Yes.
Yeah. I played like a pretty fair amount of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I took that shit online for one match, and I got killed in one combo.
Yep.
Like, I got juggled, and I couldn't do anything about it, and I died. I was like, why do I even bother? That's why, like, playing it with your friends is one thing. Everyone is usually approximately the same.
You always have that one friend
level.
who's fucking baller at whatever you're doing.
Right, you always have that one friend who's better than everyone else, but you never have that one friend who can kill you in one combo.
Usually.
At least not in my experience.
Yeah, usually.
Not in my experience. I mean, obviously, like, that guy... Yeah, so if you're in a situation where it's like 5 people hanging out and one of them is just so good at Street Fighter that he'll just like kill you in 4 seconds before you even get a move, yeah, like you can't fucking play Street Fighter with that guy. But even if there's like one friend who's like clearly better than you,
I actually find that helpful when I play Street Fighter with them.
Yeah, you kind of want to get one up on him. You might not ever beat him, but like
I won a
kind
couple
of just
times.
like you want to make yourself like. You use it as a means to improve yourself.
Yeah. So I took it super old school at first, and then I decided I don't like Street Fighter 2 because it makes no sense to me. So I picked up Street Fighter 4. I actually think Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is a really good and accessible game. I think it's too fast. The nice thing about Street Fighter is that it's very slow as far as fighting games go. It's super... I can see everything that's happening, unlike Marvel vs. Capcom, which I think is a fucking shit show. And
which have you played the third one?
Probably, but I don't really know.
Well, the second one is the one that was like the game, like the PlayStation 2 and Dreamcast one, like the sprites.
I think I've played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and not 3.
3 is the one where it's still 2D, but everything's polygonal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I guess that game is faster than some. 2, the second one was kind of a button mashy shit show. I'll give you that much.
Yeah, that's the only one I've put any time in, which is not a lot, but I've put some.
The third one I think is really good, and it's not as much of a button mashy shit show.
I'll try it.
Well, what kind of fighters do you tend to like? Because you have like Street Fighter style, which is like light punch, heavy punch, medium punch, light kick, all that stuff, like 6-button kind of thing. Yep. Like Mortal Kombat is like, I think like high kick, low kick.
Can I tell you a secret?
Low punch.
I've never played Mortal Kombat.
That's fine.
Ever. I've never.
I like the 9th one a lot. I haven't played 10, but the Mortal Kombat 9 was a really good game.
Does it do Hadokens and stuff? Like, does it use those motions? Yeah. Okay.
They're actually even easier. When you do a Hadoken, I quote Hadoken, in Street Fighter or in Mortal Kombat, it's just down and then forward. Instead of, you don't actually have to roll. Or at least that's how it was in the 9th one.
I've gotten pretty okay at Hadoken and Dragon Punch and the other one.
So my favorite type of fighter I found is, I think Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah, I think Marvel vs. Capcom is that way. It's just the light, medium, heavy. Mm-hmm. Like you have 3 buttons.
Yep.
And then another combination of those is grab, another combination of those is super, whatever.
Yeah, I sort of wish Street Fighter didn't have 6 buttons.
Yeah, I like the simplicity of light, medium, heavy. Like Arcana Hearts is like that.
Uh-huh.
I think Guilty Gear is not like that. I can't remember what Blaze Blue is like. I think Blaze Blue might be like that. I didn't play much Blaze Blue, but I liked the time I spent with it.
I do.
Remember those silly Bleach DS games?
No.
That weren't really fighters. They were like a 2D multi-lane.
No.
They were kind of fightery.
No.
That was light, medium, heavy. I like that a lot.
I do like Persona 4 Arena, which is pretty much Street Fighter, from what I can tell.
Yeah, except that game. My main objection to that game is that you can just mash the attack button to do sick combos.
That's my favorite part of that game.
I think that you should have to mix up like light, medium, heavy, low, high, whatever, plus a special input in the middle of your combo.
No, that's too much stuff.
Something sweet. You shouldn't have to
too much stuff.
I can see why you would think that because you're like, this is hard. Let me just hit square until I win.
Because even in Street Fighter 4, the nice thing about that is all of your supers are just 2 inputs and a button.
Is it like it's like double Hadouken?
Yeah, all of them are like that, which I like because
and that's another thing. In supers in games are either they're double Hadouken and then a button, or they're a single Hadouken and 2 buttons.
I think there's both in Street Fighter 4.
It's very possible.
Yeah, I think
there's probably a lot of shit going on in that game.
Yeah, there is. I've literally I've only played as Ryu. I haven't even tried the other 2 special move options. I've done the Super Hadokens, and that's it. That's all I do.
No Shin Shoryukens?
No, I don't. I tried it once. I don't like it.
I feel like
I don't like.
Well, that's my favorite. It's like moves like that are my favorite to like link into combos. Like you're punching them and then you like kick them. And
I don't like Shoryuken. Like just like on Ryu in Street Fighter 4 as a move, I don't like it. It's too slow. Like I much prefer crouch heavy punch, which is almost the same thing, but it's faster. See, I'm talking about Street Fighter 4, and I know what I'm talking about. This is fun. So,
what system are you playing on?
PS4. I got Street Fighter 4 Ultra, which I think is like Street Fighter Super Street Fighter.
The best one?
Is it? I think it's Super Street Fighter 4 with like extra DLC packed in or some shit. I don't fucking know.
I think that's the one that got everything in it.
Yeah, whenever I boot it, it's like loading DLC, and I'm like, I didn't buy any DLC, but okay.
They're like, yeah, but you did.
But I did, I guess.
You're like, okay, sure.
So
yeah, I think Ryu is clearly. I mean, it's a reason why everyone's like, oh yeah, Ryu is the character that everyone plays as. Like, it's a stereotype because it's real.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, there's so many characters that have always been at least vaguely based on Ryu, that it totally makes sense to be able to to master him first, because there's so many moves that just Hadouken in every game is a fireball.
Yes.
Backwards Hadouken in every game. Well, that's sometimes different, but a Shoryuken is always some sort of uppercut.
Yeah.
No matter you're playing Guilty Gear, you're playing whatever.
Yeah.
It's always 9 times out of 10, it's some sort of uppercut.
Mm-hmm.
So starting out and learning how to play Ryu is good, a good basis for learning how to play a little bit of every fighter.
See, that's the goal, because I could literally until I started trying to play Street Fighter 4, I could never do a Hadouken ever. I sucked at it, and then I figured out, I went so fast from down to forward that I completely missed down forward, and it's way more of a deliberate button press than a roll, I find.
And you're using a controller, right?
Yeah, I'm using a controller. I'm using the PS4's D-pad is pretty decent on that controller.
Yeah, I really like the PS3 D-pad for fighting games. It hurts your thumb a little bit after a while, but it works really well. Some people obviously swear by joysticks.
I didn't want to buy one.
Arcade sticks or whatever they're calling them these days.
Yeah.
I cannot even. Everything I ever knew about fighting games goes completely out the window when I pick up one of those things. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. No, mm-mm. And plus, I didn't want to buy one. They're mad money. I don't like fighting games that much.
You can get some pretty bottom of the line ones that aren't decorated or anything. Not bottom of the line, but base ones that are not decorated or anything. And I want to say that you can get one of those for $60.
Yeah.
Or at least that used to be the case, the PS3 era.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it's not the case anymore.
Yeah. But I'm gonna keep chugging along with some Street Fighter, try to get okay at it, because I do think fighting games are really cool, and I would like to.
I do too.
Be okay at them. And if someone's like, Ryan, I have this fighting game, and I'll be like, shit, I can't do a Hadouken. I want that day to end. I want that era of my life to end, where I don't have to hate fighting games because I suck at them.
That's a noble cause.
Yeah.
In the wake of No More WoW.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think once you decide that you're okay, because I'm obviously really rusty with fighting games, we should play fighting games.
I would love to play fighting games with you. We should do that.
Because I want someone who's not going to destroy me.
I'm that,
but
I promise.
Right, but I also don't want to just literally
curb stomp me.
Yeah. I'm not interested in just. If I could, I would just play a game in training mode if I wanted to just tool on somebody.
Right, totally.
So I don't want to play. I don't want to do that before you're ready. But
no, we should definitely play fighting games.
I've also never played Street Fighter. I played Street Fighter 4 maybe I played 4 rounds of it ever.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
so maybe I'll have no idea what I'm doing, and we'll be on even playing.
I'll probably only play as Ryu still, but
that's fine. Okay. I also like to play as Ryu's.
Okay, I might try Ken, because apparently it's just Ryu, but a little different.
Pretty much, it's I think his it's punches and kicks are reversed.
Oh, really? That's weird.
Or not reversed. I mean, I think Ryu has stronger kicks than punches, and Ken has stronger punches than kicks.
Oh, got it. Yep.
And I want to say that his Shoryukens are stronger, and his Hadokens don't go as far.
That sounds like
something.
I'll just play Ryu. The way I like to play Ryu.
You should probably, I mean, try it out, but you should probably just play.
Because I don't like Shoryuken as a move, like I said, on Ryu, because it's really slow, and oftentimes I miss, and then I just get punished, which sucks.
Yeah, but when you connect with it,
it does feel good. I'll pull it out every once in a while. But yeah, no, we should play fighting games.
I'm trying to think. I actually have not bought a fighting game in the longest time, because I've gotten to the point where I no longer have those like meetups with friends in people's basements, and we just like play a game that like, hey, I just bought this game. We're all gonna play it for like 4 hours.
Yeah, that doesn't happen in a long time.
That doesn't happen to me anymore. So I just like don't see the point in buying a fighting game, knowing that
If it makes you feel better,
I'm never gonna play by myself.
if it makes you feel better, I have a basement in which I do that, and that doesn't happen to me either. So don't feel bad.
I don't. Well, you also sometimes have too many people in there for that to happen.
I always have too many people.
They're always in there drinking all your beer.
Yeah. I buy a lot of beer.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. Do you want to take a break?
I really do. I was actually going to say, like, I'm about to get into something that I need to, like, take a minute.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm going to, here, a little preview. I wrote it down as the iOS game Nightmare Descent.
Uh-oh.
I literally fell into this like horrible black hole that is fighting, or not fighting games. That's what you did.
Yep.
In just iOS games, which I've always been standing at the precipice of, and I went too deep, and then that quickly spiraled. I escaped that black hole.
Yep.
And got promptly sucked into another black hole called Clicker Games.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Here we go.
Which we've spoken about a little bit before.
Here we go.
But it's it's different now. I'll never be the same.
All right, let's take a break.
All right, sounds good. Right, I can't believe that going into this, like, we had these, like, ideas of, like, hey, we're going to do these funny bits and this, that, and the other thing. I never thought the funniest moments would be where I played this straight man and you just made a silly voice.
That's it.
Because we've done that at least twice, and those are both my favorites.
I do a good silly voice now and again.
And it's just, like, I never pictured myself as being, like, the straight man. Like, just not doing anything, just playing it like normal,
Like you're just you being a guy,
or I'm playing like a normal type character who thinks that the other person's being like the person with the silly voice is being kind of ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always imagined that I was the person with the silly voice, but I know my role, and I need to heal the tank while he takes damage from enemies.
Am I the tank?
And not anymore.
Oh, bummer.
You can quit WoW.
Oh, dude.
My friend the other day, or just today, in fact, my friend was like, "We were doing that mythic dungeon thing with Ryan." I'm like, I was like, he in quotation marks quit WoW.
Yeah.
So
fuck him, right?
I
I don't know.
Well, I mean, do you like not have the subscription?
No, I still have it. No, my subscription is gonna be active until next November. Like, not the one that's coming up, but the one that is happening in 2017. So,
Holy shit. 2017?
Yeah. Oh wait, no, sorry, 2016. My bad. I'm not that
Wow,
ahead.
I was like, oh jeez.
Nah.
Yeah, because basically, I used to say to myself, like, or the way I used to run it is I would play WoW for a month, say, you know what, forget WoW, and then cancel, and then I'd be like, or like I'd play for like a month, like straight,
Yes.
and I'd WoW myself out,
Yes.
and I'd be like, oh, okay, and I'd cancel it right away. I would renew it for a month and cancel it. It wouldn't renew.
Yep.
And so I used to play WoW. which was over 6 years ago.
Yes.
That I started playing WoW. A little nifty app on the iPhone called Time Hop, which I'm sure is like totally for basic bitches and like.
Oh, you a basic bitch?
Like, I don't care. Like, I think it's awesome. It basically looks at like your Twitter account, your Facebook, and like the pictures in your camera roll and stuff, and tells you what happened this day in history
In your life?
in your personal
That's
life,
cool.
in your personal networks.
That's cool.
Some days I don't really have much on there, but some days it really just brings back this like hilarious this moment that was encapsulated on a social network somewhere that if I wanted to go into my Twitter feed or my Facebook feed and try and find that stuff, it'd be virtually impossible.
Yes.
But they just bring it every once a year. They'll just bring it up and they'll be like, "Oh, hey, I remember that shit." So apparently 6 years ago, like 2 weeks ago, or like last week sometime, content patch 3.2 came out that gave druids haircuts and mounts became cheaper. And I was apparently fucking amped about it.
Oh, I bet.
But that was 6 years ago.
Yep.
I can't believe I've been off and on playing WoW for 6 years. But yeah, I got to the point, like, I graduated from college, I had a job, and I was like, $50 a month is fucking bird seed. Like, I don't see any reason to not ever have this WoW subscription. So I just always have it. And sometimes I use it.
Yeah, I'm in that boat.
Yeah. Like, whatever.
So
But it is good to know that if for some reason we do get all of our shits together, we want to do Mythic Dungeons, that you're able to do that.
I'm around. Yeah, I could do that.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. Hey, Tank, that was going to be our tank. If you're listening to this, Ryan, don't take it personally. Ryan's not mad at you. He just needed to readjust his life. But you shouldn't ignore him if he ever is like, yo.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to take a break for a little while because I have the opportunity to. But I'll figure my shit out eventually.
Hey, man, whatever you got to do. You just do you, okay?
I'm gonna.
All right, we're going to get back to this conversation about WoW in just a moment.
Okay.
So.
Yes.
The iOS.
Get that shit out of here.
I think that there is a very important and specific part of the game verse that iOS occupies, and I think it also in a way deserves to occupy this space, but it's a really weird thing. I'm having trouble articulating this because I've just been, all these thoughts have been bouncing around my head for like the better part of a week. Like, there's a time and a place for iOS games, and certain iOS games do those things better than any other format. And like, so for instance, the clicker games that I'll be talking about in a little bit, like Cookie Clicker, which I know we've talked about before. Remember, like many weeks ago, I told you about that game Tap Titans. That's like a cookie clicker game for the iPhone. Yes. I still play that.
Shut the fuck up! No, you don't.
Because that game deserves to exist on a telephone, and really no other place. That game has no right being anywhere else. That being said, I'm also playing a clicker game on Steam, but that's been like only a couple of days now, and it's harder to just like keep checking back in on it because I have to be in front of my computer. Like, yeah, maybe if I had a laptop I use all the time or whatever, that'd be a little bit different, but I don't. So it just doesn't work for me. Right. But, all right, I'm going to just Tarantino this real quick. I'm going to go back to the beginning.
Okay.
So we recorded like last Wednesday or something. Like the day after that, I was seeing reports on Twitter that a long-awaited sequel to a very famous game had been released that day.
Yes.
That game is Angry Birds 2.
Wait, really?
Upon reading this, I said, there isn't one of those already? And I'm like, I consider myself an Angry Birds fan. I like Angry Birds.
I have to interrupt you to say we can't be friends anymore.
Yo, why not? Why?
Angry Birds is trash.
No, it's not.
It's trash.
It's a simple little fun game.
Fun's pushing it.
what's not fun about it?
The part where it's the same shit
pick
over
a trajectory.
and over again. It's
all right. Well, that's determined by how many levels of Angry Birds you decide to play.
yeah, two. It's plenty.
All right, well,
anyway,
I'm sorry that. Yeah, so there is a little bit of repetition to it, but here's my thoughts on it. Because it's an iOS game, it's a game for your phone. You can kind of like, you play Angry Birds, like you play a couple of rounds of Angry Birds, and you go, well, this is kind of getting old. And then like a couple hours later, you pull up Angry Birds again. You're just like, oh man, I remember when this was fun. And you do like two more. Like even for people who have this sort of cynical, like repetition is bad 100% of the time mentality, like even they can be kind of tricked into thinking that it's fun. So like the first game, you paid like $2 for it. The levels were all very well laid out. They were exactly the same. You always get the same birds. You had the same number of birds. You had to just kill all the pigs, and you shoot the birds into like different structures. And each of the structures is made of different blocks that react to physics. And so you have like wood blocks, stone blocks, and ice blocks, and they all react differently to the different abilities that each bird has, and the launch velocity, etc., etc., and you have to topple the towers and kill the pigs. As if anyone really needed to anyone needed me to explain what Angry Birds is.
I did.
And they also had, like, if the level was really hard, you could play, I think it was like you paid like $2, and you got this thing called the Mighty Eagle, and then every hour you could use that to just basically skip a level. I thought that was actually kind of brilliant.
Totally. Yeah.
Because I would just play Angry Birds until I got to a level that was like really just way too hard. And I tried it like 5 times. I wasn't going to get it. And I'm like, I'm just going to skip it and move on to the next one. And I eventually beat like every level in the original Angry Birds. Like a couple years after it came out, so they had added a bunch more. It wasn't just the base game. And then from there, Angry Birds became like a sort of phenomena, and it went bananas. There's all sorts of spin-offs. There was Angry Birds Star Wars, Angry Birds Space, which I actually thought was quite good. Because you, instead of just shooting on like a horizontal plane, there were different planets that each had their own gravity source. A mild change, but for a game that costs like $2 and is fun, whatever, right? There was Angry Birds Transformers, which was like a combination auto runner and Angry Birds game that came out like earlier this year or late last year. They had all sorts of. They just had tons of spin-offs. There's like a Facebook version. There's a DS version, Xbox 360 like it just recreated, spun off, etc. Infinitely. So when I heard that there was a sequel, I was like, wait, is there really not a sequel yet? I seriously thought that there had already been an Angry Birds 2.
No.
Part of what I was probably thinking of what they call Angry Birds Seasons, which is the first game, but with... It came out maybe like a year after the original game came out, but they update... they put new levels into that thing. Like, they're still doing it. They released a new level set for that last week.
What?
And that game's like super old. So like the first one, they kind of stopped supporting, and they just support seasons by adding new content like for free all the time. Although this latest version of it is kind of messed up. So I said, Angry Birds 2. Hey, I like Angry Birds. It's free. I'll download it. I'll check it out. And if it's if the free to play stuff is garbage, I'll just stop playing it. And I had like 0 reservations about that. So like that last Thursday, I had the day off. Summer Games Done Quick was on. Thursday or Friday, I can't remember. But either way. And I just basically played a bunch of free iOS games all day long while watching Summer Games Done Quick. Switching in between games when I ran out of lives and weird stuff like that. Because when I went to go to the App Store to get Angry Birds 2, I read a phrase that I didn't quite believe that I had read properly at first.
Okay.
What I thought the app said was Adventure Time Puzzle Quest. And I said to myself, well, no, that's not possible, because that'd be way too fucking great. Like, that literally, me 3 years ago would have... I would have, like, killed a homeless person if it meant that they would have made a game called Puzzle Quest Adventure Time.
Yes.
Because those were... I still care very deeply about Puzzle Quest, and I like Adventure Time a lot. Not that I haven't seen it recently, but I acknowledge that it's a great show. I was cautiously optimistic when I saw this. I was like, all right, don't freak out. Don't freak out.
Don't freak out.
Because the last official Puzzle Quest game that came out was Marvel Puzzle Quest, which A, is about superheroes, and I hate those, and B, completely free to play with a bunch of dumb cooldown timers, and it was like Marvel Puzzle Quest is almost good, but it's so different from what I want Puzzle Quest to be. Puzzle Quest is, you pick a character, you earn experience, you get gold, you buy equipment, you earn experience, and you learn new skills. And you go around a map fighting stuff. They've never made a Puzzle Quest game like the first one. They keep wanting to... They don't innovate on it. They just change it.
Right.
And it frustrates me.
Yes.
This one is like the worst... This is somehow like the worst version of Puzzle Quest yet.
Uh-oh.
It's like you literally just... You have a party of three Adventure Time characters. It's this person's turn. You match some pieces, and he does a certain amount of damage depending on how many pieces you matched. And then his ability might recharge if you match blue ones, if he's a blue character. And then the ability might do something cool. And then the enemies just attack you. And there's no real way. It's just a bunch of gems. Like, Puzzle Quest, the original one, had skull gems for doing damage, mana gems for getting mana for skills, and then, like, EXP gems and health and gold gems. Like, it was... Like, it meant... Like, when you match things, it meant something. You were looking for those skulls. You wanted to match the skulls. You wanted to damage your opponent. This is just like, I don't know. I see 3 blue that I could match. Oh, I matched 3 blue, and it did a little damage. Oh, cool. And then it's like, you can use in-game points or real money to buy new characters from, like, a slot machine. And then like, the characters, like, aren't good. You have to use, like, items on them to make their skills better. And, like, you get to craft those, and... That requires gold and items from monster drops, and just like fights last way too long, and if the app for some reason closes all the way, that entire battle is just gone.
Yep.
Super disappointing.
It sounds like it. It sounds terrible.
It is really just... It was not fun at all, which is ridiculous. What a squandered idea. It means the last bastion of hope I have for Adventure Time games is they ever make a Skyrim-like game that takes place in the world of Adventure Time.
I would have a big boner for that.
Including, like, fully fleshed... Like, you gotta go to, like, Wizard City, or whatever that place is called, and, like, do quests there, and... Like, the world of Adventure Time is so fascinating to me. I want, like, games where I quest in that and experience it. Although I did play the DS/3DS game, Adventure Time, Hey, Ice King, why'd you steal our garbage? I think is what it's called.
Something like that, yeah.
And it's basically Zelda 2, but with Adventure Time. Not a bad game, by any means.
Okay.
But I just want, like, more... I want more of the lore of Adventure Time. That's what I'm really interested in Adventure Time.
Yeah, Adventure Time is a cool, like, universe.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so stupid, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's so simple.
Fucking super dumb.
But then you have just, like, awesomely stupid characters. Like, what that guy's called? Like, the Magic Man? The guy who wears yellow and just, like, literally does terrible magical things to people for fun.
I think it's something like that, yeah.
At one point, they defeat the Magic Man. They go to the moon, and they destroy, like, the reanimated... It's like the Lincoln Memorial is there, but he's a reanimated, like, Abraham Lincoln, and they, like, defeat him, and he grants them one wish, or some crazy shit. Like, Adventure Time is great. Adventure Time is so entertaining.
Yes.
But apparently, Adventure Time Puzzle Quest, garbage. They just dropped the ball super hard on that game. I don't know how they can even fix it.
What a huge bummer.
So that game got deleted off my phone. But basically, I would like play Puzzle Quest 2 when I didn't have any Angry Birds 2 when I had lives, and then I'd switch over to Adventure Time. And then there's also this other game called Angry Bird... I think it's called Angry Birds Fight, which is a player versus player match 3 game that actually was functionally pretty okay.
Uh-huh.
You picked an Angry Bird, you gave him equipment, and you just like went in there and just matched shit as fast as you could, which is a subgenre of match 3 games.
Okay, just go really fast.
Like some games are like, oh, you have to pay attention to what you're matching. Like you have to like look for the best move and take it, or you have to, you know, puzzle quest. You have to match the skulls if you can. Don't let your opponent match them because you share a field. And then there's also just here's a field of gems. Match as many as you can in as short a time as possible, and also, you know, like matching 4 of this type of gem does this. So all the gems are the different Angry Birds, and if you match 4 of any one kind of Angry Bird, they activate a unique effect depending on which bird it was.
Yeah.
Which sounds really simple, but it was really cool in practice when you did it, and it was like it felt good to match things in that game. So it succeeded in that, and of course there were lives and things. The cooldown for your lives was pretty short, but you played against other people. You'd like search for an opponent, and you'd both theoretically match as fast as you can, as long as someone didn't get disconnected.
Yeah.
A little bit silly because you can use a slot machine that you can fuel with real money to get better items, but for the most part, I didn't run into anyone who just like clearly looked like they were wearing like a full golden suit of armor and just stomped the shit out of me without, like, that happened once or twice. But for the most part, it was just kind of, it was an alright game.
Yeah, that sounds fucking cool.
It's just an alright, like, kind of fun, stupid, silly game.
Yeah.
So that's the other game I was playing. I was playing all 3 of these games, just kind of just switching around while watching SGDQ. So Angry Birds 2. Not a good game.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting at. I'm getting to this part. I'm kind of going out of order here, but we're coming around to it. The problem with the game, obviously, it's gone full-blown free-to-play.
Fuck that.
There's like a Candy Crush-style map. You have lives. Every time you fail a level, you lose. And as you know, I'm sure, if you played Angry Birds for more than 10 minutes, that's not an easy game.
Yes. No, it's hard.
Which part of what I like about it is you don't just breeze through the levels. You actually have to, like, you have to take multiple stabs at levels. And in the first game, that was really cool because you could just retry it over and over. But now it's like I miss with one bird. And I have to flawlessly execute to beat this level. I miss with one of the birds, and I just go, well, there goes 25 minutes of my life. That was one life right there that I have to put my phone down for 25 minutes to get back.
Right.
Less fun for sure. And the other problem with it is that the configurations are random, more or less. So, like, not completely random, but you always have the same configuration of towers the pigs are stationed in, but sometimes they'll be made out of different materials. And the idea behind that is they kind of associate, like, hey, the blue ones are really good at breaking ice, and the black ones are particularly good at breaking stone, and the yellow ones are particularly good at breaking wood, and so on and so forth. Each bird is its own role. Mm-hmm. But the other problem is that it gives you, of all your available birds, depending on where you are along the path, you have X number of birds, of different birds.
Right.
And it gives you, they're all represented by cards. So you have like 5 in your deck, and you draw 3, and you can pick any of those 3 to fire. But if you don't have the one you really need in your hand, you're fucked. But then you could retry that level, and then you could have the one you need, because you're like, I really need a blue one to break this ice. But then you retry the level, and that ice is wood now, and now you don't have the yellow one in your hand.
Well, fuck that.
It's not even like that's what made the first one so good, in my opinion, was they said, here, we know for a fact that you can do it with these 3 birds. And you'll eventually be able to do it if you just keep trying to shoot them in different ways. This one is like, yeah, I don't know. You could probably do it if you get lucky. Yeah, and then you fail because maybe the odds were just against you. You didn't have the bird you needed at the right time, and then you lost a life, and you have to wait real time or pay them real money to play some more. And that's just awful. And then there's power-ups that you can use to get through really hard levels, but those are limited, and I think you can buy them with real money later. Mm-hmm. They just really blew out. They went all out in terms of the free-to-play stuff in this game.
Just throw it in the trash. So, it sounds like trash.
I was like, oh, this is really upsetting to me. I'm going to go back to playing Angry Birds Seasons because there's year's worth of levels I haven't played in there. And I want just some good old-fashioned Angry Birds where I know that I can beat the level and I just have to just try harder. Launch Angry Birds Seasons, load up the most recent one that's I don't know why I think this happened. Like, it's like the NBA Finals season, but I thought that had ended some time ago because we're in baseball season right now.
Sure.
No, we are in baseball season.
Okay.
But I don't know why this just came out like the end of July, but it did. And I loaded up a map. I loaded up a level. Immediately crashed to my home screen. I thought, hey, that's weird. Open up the app again. Loaded a different level from a different set of levels. As soon as it loaded in, before it could even fire, crashed my home screen.
Great.
Went on to the most recent comments on the App Store. Apparently that game just fucking crashes onto the home screen all the time.
So Angry Birds is trash.
I was like, maybe it's because I'm using an iPhone that will soon be 2 years old, but...
Doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think that would really make that big of a difference in terms of memory. Like, I don't know why you really need that much. But I don't know. I'm not a technology man. I still like Angry Birds. I want to play those Angry Birds Seasons levels because I think Angry Birds is fun, and sometimes I just want to play some dumb, kind of simple game like that. So once it stops crashing to the home screen all the time, I'll play some more, but yeah, I think you're right. I think I have to throw Angry Birds 2 in the trash.
I think you have to pick it up, crumple it into a tiny little ball, and throw it away.
I wish I could literally do that.
Yep.
But I can't. I just have to hold it until it's jiggling, and then just put it out of its misery.
It's okay. You did it with your time.
Yeah, I guess I already did. Well, I mean, I wasn't doing anything that day. Like, I was seriously just all about watching those speed runs anyways, so... Yeah. It was I'm glad I downloaded it and tried it, but I'm also glad that I'm free of it. Because even though I haven't deleted it yet, I have not played it in, like, many days.
You should just delete it now. Live on there.
Okay.
Okay.
Why the fuck not? Yeah, so I did eventually just realize, like... I'm like, why do I even... Why does this game exist? Like, why do I care about this game?
You don't.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Okay, good.
I was like, I need games that have all the good parts of games distilled. It just told me. I just deleted it. It says storage almost full. The fuck? Whatever. Need a new phone.
Yeah, you do.
I need some games that just distill all the things I like about games into, like, just condense it. And so that it's just always feels good. And so, clicker games. I heard about a game that's on Steam. I don't know exactly when it came out. But it's called Time Clickers? Yes, it's called Time Clickers.
Okay.
It seems to be... Wait a minute. Oh, interesting. Apparently it's based on... or it's maybe the same people who made this game called Time Rifters. That seems to be an actual kind of shooting game. But Time Clickers is basically a game. It's a clicker game where you click a cube and that shoots your gun at it. And then if you do that enough, it dies and you get gold to buy a stronger gun or to buy teammates who fire at the guns for you. Or fire at the cubes, rather. And then you just upgrade them. You get abilities to use. It's very much like... There's different kinds of clicker games. I'm finding. We talked about Cookie Clicker before.
Yes.
Really, the original clicker game is called Cow Clicker.
I've heard this.
And it may have been made as a joke. I was thinking about actually like researching this because I'm super interested in like where the hell clicker games came from.
I think you should.
But Cow Clicker is basically like I think it's like the quintessential clicker game. It essentially is it's satire of like Farmville and stuff, and it takes all that, but it removes all the weighting from it, and just distills it into like click to get points. So it's just the most basic action. Just you click to get points instead of like pretending that this is a farm and when you click on it the turnips come out and then you wait and you're a little farmer person. There's like, fuck that. You don't need any of that. You just need to click on the cow and then you feel good. Yeah. And that was kind of the joke. But it's true. It works. Clicker games are immensely satisfying. Because it's so simple to do something in them. And something good happens, you're like, oh man, look at all this gold I got. So when Cookie Clicker was big, I played like a later HTML version of it.
Uh-huh.
And then I even played it again when it got like a big update. Cookie Clicker is like... it's a little bit different than... I think it's more similar to Cow Clicker. This Time Clickers game is more like... Clicker Heroes, I think is kind of the big one. I mentioned this. I started playing that game. That was what got me into Tap Titans.
Mm-hmm.
So the way Cookie Clicker works is you click to make a cookie, and you also can hire grandmas and cookie factories and things that make them automatically. But at the end of the day, you can always you just need like a couple more dollars or cookies or whatever the currency is to get to the next upgrade. You can just click like crazy to get through it and just get those last cookies. Yep. Games like Clicker Heroes or Time Clickers is you have the people destroying the monster or shooting the thing or whatever, and then when you get it, kill them, you get gold, and then every certain number of levels will be a boss that might hold you back, or you need to actually click to beat, and it's basically like a permutation of that, but the upgrades work a little bit differently, and it's sort of interesting that you're actually pointing and clicking instead of just clicking, but not really. Like, I wouldn't say that Time Clickers is like a game changer, like it changes the genre forever. It's like, I know most people like Ryan, I know you hate clicker games, but you have to try Time Clickers. It changes everything. Like, that's definitely not true.
It's not true.
It's still very much clicker game. However, I'm extremely amused by clicker games. So there's been a couple of days last week, I'd be playing like Destiny or Titanfall with my friends or something, and in between rounds I'd just go over to Time Clicker and just click on some cubes and upgrade my dudes and go back to the game I'm playing.
Yeah.
And just... I'd look back every once in a while and be like, hey, I'm killing stuff. I'm getting time cubes. I'm putting those into my perk tree and like getting more powerful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. And then just repeat the cycle over and over of like click, wait, upgrade, feel good, and then just keep doing that over and over. But that's how all clickers games are.
Clicker games are dumb.
I think that they're
dumb.
No, I don't think they're dumb. So, but once again, this made me say to myself, PC clicker games seem silly. Let me go find some other clicker games that I can play on my iPhone. Obviously, I still have Tap Titans. I don't know why a sane person would say, I know I have this clicker game that I've been playing for like several months now, but I just want another one. Not a different one to replace this one, just another one.
Yes, you are a crazy person.
Okay, I was going to say, could you possibly explain like why I act like this? Because I don't understand
You have mental issues, and you need to address them.
I think we all have mental issues,
yes,
really.
I know I do.
Mine are just about clicker games. So I downloaded Adventure Capitalist.
That sounds terrible.
That
sounds terrible already.
I didn't realize the pun until like I'd played it for a couple of days. That venture capitalist is,
Yes.
a person who makes money, or I don't know.
You got it.
And then they just put ad in front of it, but the V is still capitalized, so it's advertisement venture capitalist.
Womp womp.
And there's ads in the game, and it's like you watch ads to get boosts to the money. So Adventure Capitalist plays much like Cookie Clicker.
Okay.
But there's no clicking.
What?
You have to... So, I don't even know if Adventure Capitalist is a game, Ryan.
It's a clicker, so...
It's not. It's... Okay. So, you start out with a lemonade stand, right? That's your first business as an adventure capitalist.
Okay.
And you tap the lemon icon or the progress bar, and it starts making a lemonade that you sell for money to someone. All right, you following
I
this?
guess so. I don't have a choice.
And then it like takes 1 second to make a lemonade. Every time you click, you wait 1 second, and you can click again.
Okay.
And you're making lemonade, and you're making money.
This already sounds
and then
bad.
you start your paper route.
Yep.
Once you get enough money, you start your paper route, and you click that. But then when you click the paper route, it takes like 5 seconds to get your money from that. And then you get your car wash and your pizza delivery place and your donut shop and your shrimp boat. Yeah, that's right. You heard me, shrimp boat. And then your hockey team and your movie studio. And I don't even know what that is.
This is
the White House.
This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
And then you get your oil rig.
Okay.
But then you go to click on the oil rig, and then it's like, yeah, that's gonna take like an hour and a half. To get your money from that. And then you can hire a manager to run your different stands as you get more money.
Mm-hmm.
So like like right now, I'm at the point in the game, and it doesn't take very long to get to this point, that all of your businesses are completely automated, and you're not actually doing any clicking. I just open up the app and I buy like upgrades of them so that when they successfully sell, I make more money. And then I come back later and I've made more money, and I go, yay, I'm going to buy some upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Adventure Capitalist. That's the entire game.
That's terrible, Nick.
I don't even think it's a game, Ryan.
You uninstall that game too.
No.
No, you should.
No, I'm not. I won't.
No.
No, Ryan, I like it.
All right, we need to talk about something else now.
I'm going to buy 69 hockey teams. Oh, wait, I want one more to talk about.
No.
It's the worst one
You're
yet.
Done. You have to be done.
It's okay. It's a game called... I'll make it short.
Okay.
It's a game called Billionaire. It's terrible.
It already sounds bad. Continue.
It's literally just... It's even less clicking than the last game. You open a shop... No, there is more clicking. I lied. But it's the worst kind of clicking. They say, like, hey, build a business of some kind. So I'm like, okay, I'll build a pizza delivery place. And then it's like, okay, well, it's going to take 2 minutes to build this. But if you click, it'll take 1 less second to build it. Okay. I guess I'll tap like 60 times or like 90 times by then. Enough time has passed and I'm good. And then you just wait for your business to accrue money in real time. And you open up the app and you tap collect money on that business. And then you're like, I have more money. I'm going to open a new business. And then that's the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get higher net worth. And then you can buy different buildings. And each building has a inherent... So this game is not made by native English speakers.
Okay.
I could just tell.
Sure.
Case in point, there's something just called a threat percentage.
What are we tanking here?
Apparently,
okay.
Depending on the kind of businesses you build, they might accrue money faster. They might be able to hold more money with like every time you clear it out. They might have a higher capacity, but the ones that earn the most money also have higher threat percentages. And sometimes randomly, you'll just get a big red screen that says convicted, and it'll have a jury, like a gavel and hammer, like the judge's hammer thing.
Okay.
And you say, okay, well, I guess I'll just serve my time, and then you have to wait 3 hours before playing the game again.
This is the worst thing I've ever heard of, by the way.
It is the worst thing you've ever heard of. Also, like, so you can build some, like, shady businesses. This is how I know it wasn't made by native English speakers.
Okay.
Well, the first shady business you can buy is the joint dealer.
Yeah, who would call it that?
And you can also build a building called movie piracy. I'm like, this syntax of this is just horribly incorrect. This is not a game. Don't let anything that anyone ever has told you about this game fool you.
Oh, I won't.
I'm not going to give up on it.
I think you should.
The thing I find, well, it's just like something dumb I do. I open up the app and like click some stuff, and I don't care about it. Well, the interesting thing it does is it tracks your net worth in comparison to real life people.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, once your net worth is above, like Taylor Swift and PewDiePie and Jenna Marbles, and like everyone is on that list, and you'll like go past them as you earn money.
Weird.
So I have more net worth than Ryan Higa, the YouTube guy.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Trust me, he's a YouTube guy.
Sure.
And when I surpassed him, I was like, hey, that actually felt okay. That wasn't too bad. Also, one last thing about iOS games. I had a solitaire app on my phone.
Sure.
And it got an update recently, and it started sending me notifications.
So you uninstalled it.
With a badge icon.
So you definitely
uninstalled it. The badge icon was not... I did not uninstall it. It's a really good solitaire app. Although when I played it recently, I realized that all you had to do to win was just tap all of the cards to see if any of them would move. And then flip over more cards and just tap every card on the screen and see if it would move without actually checking to see if it made any sense to move it.
That sounds terrible.
Well, that's how solitaire is in general. But the badge icon didn't correspond to how many notifications it had sent you. They just picked like a random number. At one point, I looked at my phone, and my solitaire app told me that I had 888 notifications.
Mm-hmm.
So
get rid of it. Throw it away.
I don't want to. I love it so much. This is so endearing. And well, so like it just says play a lightning fast game of solitaire today. It's a notification center.
No.
And then 2 days ago it told me I just gifted you 28 hugs in solitaire. Time to play solitaire. And then it said I had 28 notifications in solitaire. And then yesterday it said there are 5 games of solitaire ready for you to play right now. Mm-hmm. And now I have 5 notifications on the solitaire icon. Who the fuck made that? Whose idea was that?
Get that shit out of there. You don't need that in your life.
I seriously love it. Like, I find it so amusing that it just... They said, like, hey, we can make the app icon have a number next to it. What should we do with that? It's like, not what we're supposed to do with it, that's for sure. I love it. I know. The badges don't bother me either. Like they bother you.
No, if I ever see a number and I can't make it go away, I uninstall the app.
It's uninstall email because you have too many emails.
No, that's why I check my emails on my phone, so they go away.
Yeah, but I've gone too far. Like way before I even had an iPhone, I had thousands of unread emails that will never get removed. Like there's no point in going back and trying to remove them. It'd just be stupid.
All right, we need to talk about some
cold brew coffee from Starbucks.
It costs too much. Next topic.
Well, I thought you were gonna get a little bit more angry than that.
No, we have stuff to do.
We could talk about the other thing you're gonna get angry about.
Yep.
Guys, it's the 6th of August, 2015, which means that just today they announced what the next World of Warcraft expansion would be.
trash can. It's a trash can. You play inside of a trash
It's
can.
a Heinz tomato cake.
Heinz tomato ketchup cake. Great Canadian tomato ketchup cake. Brought to you by French Canadian Julia Child.
Judi Dench. That's what I
Dame
thought you were
Judi
going to
Dench
say.
is here today.
Thought you were going to say.
No, it's trash. I mean, Legion. It's called Legion.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, that's actually
You took objection just right away with that?
As soon as I saw the title, I'm like, oh, this isn't enough.
Why does it have to have more words? Like, you just need more words? Ryan, you're such a...
I need more words. I need more words.
Last week, we talked about what you wanted this expansion to be.
It's none of these things. It's
Yes,
none of it.
is.
No.
Yes,
No.
it absolutely
No.
is. And you just invented a bunch of other stuff that you also wanted it to be, and you're like, it wasn't that. So, yeah. You wanted it to move things forward.
Okay. Yes.
You wanted it to be a present-day expansion where you beat somebody that, like, mattered. Like, I don't see how what's happening here is any different than the Lich King.
Well, I don't know who the big bad is. I don't think anybody knows.
I don't think it matters.
I think it does matter.
Why?
Because it matters. It matters who the big bad is.
So you're a definition of, like, progressively moving the lore forward is, like, killing a super important Warcraft character, or just Warcraft universe character?
No, I don't even want... I want to fight new stuff. Like, you know what I don't want? I don't want to play... This has more orcs in it. That's not fun. Orcs are not fun anymore.
Why does it have more orcs? It has demons.
Yeah, but they're demon orcs. Same shit. It's
If anything,
orcs in it.
like, I apparently the Broken Isles are mostly inhabited by elves, so...
More orcs. There's going to be orcs.
More elves. Like, most of the NPCs you're going to encounter are probably going to be elves in this new area.
Fine. But it's still the fucking Burning Legion. You know how sick I am of hearing about the Burning Legion?
Evidently, I don't.
I'm fucking sick of it. There's like 3 bad things in World of Warcraft, and they're all just repeatedly coming back.
But tell me again how it doesn't meet your criteria of what you wanted a Warcraft expansion to be.
I don't know.
Because it meets that criteria, but then you don't like it for other reasons.
Kind of.
But it still meet your criteria. Because, like,
Barely.
Wrath of the Lich King, everyone... So here's how every expansion of World of Warcraft goes. Everyone's in Azeroth, hanging out, generally not liking the other faction, but whatever. And then some thing shows up that threatens the fate of the world.
Yes.
And they're like, all right, well, we're going to go kill it. And then they kill it, and they go back to Azeroth, and they're like, yeah, we're just partying. It's cool. We kind of don't like those guys still, but, you know, we're good. We're good. We saved the world. And then another one shows up, and they deal with it. That's how it's always gone. Like, Wrath of the Lich King, no one ever went to Northrend, because it's a piece of shit. And then Lich King's like, well, I'm going to destroy the world, or whatever. And like, okay, well, now we got to go to Northrend, and then, like, never go to Northrend again. And now the Lich King's dead, and nobody cares, like, whatever. This is no different than that.
Yeah, but you know what sucks?
Something is happening.
You know what sucks? Illidan's on the box. And you know what we did, like, 4 expansions ago? We fought Illidan. Like, that sucks.
There's a box?
Yeah, there's a box mock-up of it already. Like, if you go to...
So you must have been rip shit when you saw that the teaser had Gul'dan in it.
This expansion literally has Gul'dan, Khadgar's important again, Illidan's back.
Oh, yeah, okay. I am pissed about Khadgar being important again.
Like,
I will concede that much.
Fuck Khadgar. I don't give a shit about Khadgar. Fuck that guy.
I was like, Khadgar, you had your expansion. You get the fuck out of here right now. Go home. You're drunk.
So here's my only thing that A, why I think this is happening when it's happening, and B, why all of these major players are still in it. I feel like this was meant to be part of Warlords of Draenor, but it became too big, and now they made it its own thing. It's why we're getting an expansion so soon, and
very possible,
and why a lot of the same recurring characters are occurring again.
Well, it's not really the same because this is present day again. So, I mean, if anything, I think a healthy lore of any series, game, movie, book, etc., does have like important reoccurring characters. To deny the importance of Illidan in the history of the Warcraft universe is foolish.
But we killed him already. He's dead. They locked him in a hole somewhere, and he's being guarded.
Then are you actually? But you're actually sure that's Illidan on the cover?
I'm 100% sure. There's a background GIF on this website from us.battle.net.com/forward/WoW/EN/Legion/#home.
Legion.
Where he's just on the fucking thing with his warglaives, and it's happening.
And you're sure it's Illidan?
I'm 100% positive.
That looks a lot like Illidan.
It's
Ryan.
fucking Illidan. That's who that is.
So what the fuck is going on here? He's definitely dead because I didn't play during Burning Crusade. He's definitely
far
dead.
as I know, Illidan is dead, and his body is in a hole somewhere, and that's important.
His body's in a hole somewhere.
Yes.
So the Burning Legion resurrected him. Huh?
Oh no, he's alive. Apparently he's alive.
All right, that's what I was gonna say. I can't necessarily say he's definitely dead. Get the fuck out of here, Khadgar. Fuck you. Hey, Sylvanas Rainrunner is relevant again.
Yeah.
Okay, so Illidan Stormrage. After the fall of the Black Temple, the corpse of the Lord of Outland, Illidan Stormrage, disappeared. No one knows the true fate of Illidan's remains, but legend holds that Warden Maiev Shadowsong took his broken body back to the Vault of Warden so that Illidan's dark lingering soul could suffer the rest of eternity, the rest of his eternal sentence, along with his followers, the feared Illidari. Justice to be forever served. So this is like the plot of the first Warcraft 3 expansion, or the only Warcraft 3 expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Which... now I'm going to be concerned that time travel is involved here.
It has to be because I mean, this is WoW Wiki, but I'm reading about how Illidan literally dies at the end of Burning Crusade.
Well, this little description from us.battle.net.com/wow/en/legion/#characters.
Yeah.
It describes his corpse. It says the corpse of the Lord of the Outland, Illidan Stormrage, disappeared.
Yeah. So okay. So
it's probably not time travel. They're demons here. They probably just brought him back to life.
If Illidan is a final boss again, and B is for any reason more relevant than like the Demon Hunter starting zone, I'm gonna be heated. I'm gonna be fucking heated.
I don't think that they would. Was he the final boss of Burning Crusade?
Yes.
I'm sorry if I sound stupid.
Yes, he was.
But okay, they're not going to do that again.
I'm just saying. I'm telling you right now. If that happens, I will be heated.
I feel you.
Okay.
And I'm just saying that I really don't think they're going to do that again.
Okay.
I want to just try. I'm going to make both of us feel better by saying that over and over.
Okay.
But I also never played Burning Crusade or any of the endgame content.
I mean, neither have I. But
so I'm kind of fine with them doing it again.
I'm not.
I didn't. Now, really, like, okay. So one of the videos they had was the announcement trailer. They're calling.
Yep.
It. Oh, actually, did you know that we're both stupid?
Yes. Why?
Because the cinematic trailer is Gul'dan walks into the prison where Illidan Stormrage's dead body is being kept and revives him.
Oh, seriously?
Is Gul'dan dead in like the timeline?
I don't know.
Like the current timeline?
I don't think so.
Although he might guy's just been kind of not been really good at not dying forever. Wow, wiki
it says he's deceased, although he's alive in Warlords. We could still be timey-wimey bullshit.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah, so I'm upset.
Yeah, I don't want them to do that. I love timey-wimey bullshit. I don't want them to do that 2 times in a row. It seems like this is a... No, because if Illidan's dead at the beginning of this, then it means that this is after the Burning Crusade, so it's present day.
But Nicholas...
Yes?
There is an option where whatever happens in between Warlords of Draenor and Legion, where we've created an alternate timeline that we're currently on.
But wouldn't that just make that the timeline?
Maybe.
Like if we altered the past. Okay. Also, they have a thing here for Anduin
Rin. It's Rin.
Rin.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not a child anymore.
Yeah, he grew up.
He's very clearly not the child that you play as in Hearthstone,
Yep.
and is kind of like the current one. So it seems like we are going ahead a couple of years here.
So I'm just vastly confused as to
I think we're supposed to be
the timeline, because Gul'dan's supposed to be dead, Illidan's supposed to be dead. So
Gul'dan is supposed to be dead.
That's what this wiki says.
Did we kill him?
No, I think that was prior to World of Warcraft and possibly even Warcraft 3.
So here he's got a character profile on this page too. Gul'dan owes allegiance to no one save his Burning Legion masters. On Draenor, the power-hungry orc warlock nearly had his entire race enslaved to demons. Though his plan failed, Gul'dan survived. Under the Legion's command, he was banished to Azeroth to open a gateway for a monstrous invasion force unlike anything the Horde and the Alliance have ever faced. I have the option of learning more by clicking there. Oh, he's got a whole little lore page on the official WoW website.
Nice. Okay, so here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna get all hopped up on the story part, even though I want to, and I want to get mad about it. They shouldn't add demon hunters as a class.
Why not?
Because Illidan's supposed to be all special and shit.
Yeah, have you ever played Warcraft 3?
No. Well, yes, but it was a long time ago. I don't remember it very well.
Literally every time you play with the Night Elves, you could have a demon hunter with a different name.
Really?
He was one of their hero units.
All right. I still think
A demon hunter is a thing that people can be. They absorb demonic energy and then take control of it. They blind themselves and they train in the use of warglaives. It's a thing that you become a paladin. You train to be a paladin. This makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but I don't want it. I don't want it. It's just it sounds like another roguey thing, because it's all about fast strikes and jumping in, jumping out.
I don't think we have enough information to decide that yet.
No. I'm looking at some slides with some ability information on it. It sounds like rogues and fury warriors had a baby. That's what it sounds like. And then you throw some stuff sometimes.
What is this based on? Although that sounds okay. What is this based on?
Some slides of Demon Hunter ability previews.
Well, the beta is coming out this year, so we'll find out then.
You rush forward, dealing things in your path. Fury just sounds like rage. Weapon strike. It's a cone.
Well, listen, WoW's pretty good about not releasing duplicate dumb bullshit. I don't think we should get too concerned about this yet.
I don't know, monks are just better rogues. I said it. I said it. No, I said it. It's canon.
Well, rogues kind of are terrible to begin with, so it's not saying too much. So here's the thing.
Yeah. I've
wanted demon hunters in this game for a long time. I said at some point they're going to put demon hunters in this game. I don't know why, it just makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. I actually said, I think the second hero class after Death Knight is going to be demon hunter.
I think you did say that.
I thought it was going to be... So when monks came out, I was a little bit concerned for demon hunters.
Yep.
Because they seemed a little bit like what I wanted demon hunters to be, is specifically in tanking.
Mm-hmm.
I envisioned demon hunters being a evasion-based tank, like a leather tank that mitigated most of its damage through just dodging, because agility and stuff. It's almost what monk tanks are, except stagger is such a huge part of it.
Yeah.
I feel like, and they have already kind of confirmed that Demon Hunter will have a tank spec.
No, they have confirmed. It's canon.
Oh, okay.
So
they just heavily implied it. They don't know if they ever
it's
said vengeance and then like a picture with like the shield that represents tank like right next to it. But like it's clearly
Vengeance Demon Hunter is the tank and Havoc is the DPS, and there's only 2 specs.
Well, how do we know there's only 2 specs?
Because they said so. Tom Chilton went on the stage and he said there are 2 specs.
Okay, good.
There was actually a presentation. It wasn't just a trailer. There was like a...
Well, yeah, but I didn't get to see that because I was working.
Well, you should go on a website and look it up.
I don't need to anymore. You told me everything.
I did tell you. Can I tell you about a thing that I'm actually excited about?
Yeah, please.
So, have you heard about the artifact weapons?
Yes.
You sound unsure.
I have. I swear.
Let me tell you. So, they're adding a thing called artifact weapons for each...
Do I have to have...
Yes.
Do I have to be good at archaeology to get them?
Oof. I think I think it's
close.
going hand in hand with your class hall, which is the garrison replacement.
Yeah, and the class hall is different depending on your class.
Yes.
And so you only hang out with people who are like you.
Yes, but it's not like...
Fucking weird.
It's not... I don't think there's going to be that many players in it. I don't know how it works. Anyway, so there's going to be a dude, presumably someone important, who gives you an artifact weapon. This is like the Doomhammer or Ashbringer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Every class and spec has its own... I think every spec, if I'm quoting this article correctly, has its own weapon. And the way they're doing it is, it's going to look different. So, like, every Doom... There's going to be 100 million Doomhammers, but they're all going to... You can make them look different depending on what things you pick. But you're going to... As you play the game, you're going to get artifact power, and you can use artifact power to, like, level up your weapon in a cool talent tree kind of system.
It does sound cool, but I also don't know how I feel about every paladin having Doomhammer or whatever. Whatever.
But yeah, it's kind of weird. There's
even though they'll make it look like maybe there's like 8 different ways it can look, but like every paladin's gonna have Ashburn.
All these slides look like there's gonna be 5 at least initially. But yeah, so it sounds like they're using this to me seems like the old talent tree, like super old, which I kind of liked. Just putting points into stuff. But the druid ones are really cool because they actually alter your beast forms, which is hella tight. They have examples of the feral form on here, which look pretty cool. They give your kitty like some kitty cat armor, and they change your coloring like significantly, which is super cool. I'm into that. I'm into this. I'm pretty sure this is going to be like the legendary quest replacement sort of thing.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, I'm into it.
I understand that the legendary quest is supposed to be hard, but it's not hard. It's just like
it's grindy bullshit.
It makes you just play a shitload of WoW, and I always want to do it, and I was like, this is dumb. And I stopped.
Yep.
Because I just don't feel like doing these dungeons, like these raids over and over and over and over.
Mm-hmm. So the other thing I'm excited about is how they're changing garrisons with class halls. It sounds super cool. It's they're describing it as you're gonna have way fewer followers, but they're gonna be more customizable, and they want you to quote think Knights of the Round Table.
That sounds kind of
Yeah,
cool.
so it's probably like you and like 5 other cool dudes that you get at somehow, and you get to customize things about them, and then you do class specific stuff, which sounds neat. I'm into it. So I don't know, but they're finally separating PvP from PvE in a very meaningful way, which is also exciting.
Yeah, I heard that they were changing that in some way, but I have none of the details as to how.
So, just reading this article, it's like a 50 level system where as you level up, you put level up points into abilities that are PvP specific. So I'm assuming that everybody who wants to PvP that is max level starts with a base set of abilities, and then you relearn PvP abilities as you rank up. And hey, Nick, guess what?
What?
You can prestige.
No, I don't. Ryan, you can't get me to play
You
PvP
can-
in World of Warcraft.
You can prestige, and when
I
you
don't
prestige, you get cosmetic rewards.
I don't care. Prestige is my favorite fucking thing ever, but I'm not going to play World of Warcraft PvP because it's bullshit.
You get prestige.
It's always been bullshit, Ryan.
I don't want to play PvP either. I just think it's
Just
neat.
because sometimes people just have gear that makes them better than you at PvP specifically.
It sounds like they're removing like PvP gear in favor of this system, because it sounds like you're not going to get honor and stuff anymore.
But that just means that like the person who played it more than me is better than me because his talent tree is farther along or whatever.
Maybe.
And like he'll just do more damage to me than I can do to him, even though we like have the exact same gear because he plays PvP more.
Hey, man.
I'm just saying that's why I don't
Some
like PvP.
some guy who plays PvP more than you is going to be better than you, regardless of the system that's in place. So.
Right, which is his skill should speak for him. Like it's like you play Call of Duty, you have different guns, but the guns do the same thing. No matter like I can copy that guy's loadout, and I'll have all the same guns. And if I'm just better at him than at the game, then I'll beat him.
I don't know,
or whatever. Like it's in this game, it's like, oh yeah, you saved up honor points, and now you get this thing. You want this thing that makes you better at PvP than Nick. Well, then you're gonna beat him every time. Then
yeah.
I just don't like that way that's done. Plus, I invest so much time in the PvE of WoW. I don't care. I can't. I don't have time to care about PvP. I have some more news about the death of Gul'dan.
Okay.
Fucker's definitely dead.
Yeah, he's dead. So what the fuck?
Even like, so he died, and then his skull, like, remained a force of evil, destructive energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like his skull is like an artifact that fucks shit up. Like Khadgar used his skull to destroy the Dark Portal.
Okay.
And he left it on Draenor.
Yeah.
And then it showed back up later. Like demons used it later.
Okay.
To fuck shit up in Felwood. And then Illidan Stormrage used the power of the skull to become half demon and half night elf. And then it says the skull remained in Illidan's possession until he was slain. So either it's back in time, or a bigger demon revived Gul'dan so that he could revive Illidan. Because some of his energy still resides in the skull, so like he's not like 100% dead. He's just like 99% dead.
Okay. Yep.
You know, like they could do whatever they want with it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I'm gonna hold off on further judgment of the story until BlizzCon, when I'm assuming we're gonna get a bunch more details about it.
So I heard that we're getting a beta this year.
That's fine. I bet you this is gonna come out in like April or May, which is too long, but okay.
I'm still hoping. Well,
It's not gonna. Yeah.
I think it's going to come out sooner than we think it's going to.
Okay. If you say so.
Well, that's a pretty general statement. I feel comfortable making.
I don't. What you gonna do about it?
I don't know. Kind of doubt that what I just said makes any sense, and then kind of. I don't know. Here, where was this article that I found?
I don't know.
I found an article that was talking about like the key elements of this expansion.
Well,
per what Blizzard had said.
I'm gonna wrap it up by just saying Demon Hunters are bad.
No, they're not. You don't know that yet.
Bad.
You're not allowed to decide that yet.
I can, and I will.
Illidan's not bad.
Artifact weapons are cool. Class halls probably cool.
Guys, level cap's being raised to 110.
Oh, that sounds gross. That sounds.
And when you buy the expansion, you can boost a character to level 100. You know what that means? I don't have to level my rogue
again.
Free rogues. Improved social features. Improved transmogrification system.
That actually sounds neat. You can like save images of like a transmog set and just put on the set, which is fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah.
I just want it to bind to slot as opposed to item.
I want
no matter how many times you change your helmet, you're still wearing an eye patch.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But that makes it not a gold absorber. So
true, yeah. But I don't have a surplus of gold to really get absorbed because I'm not some sort of freak.
Yeah,
I spend my gold other ways in that game.
Anyway,
yeah. But yeah, we're getting a whole new continent called the Broken Isles.
Sure.
It actually looks kind of cool. I saw some screenshots of the areas. Looks okay.
It's an area.
A lot of the enemies seem to be like kind of remixed, not remixed, but like amped up versions of some of the enemies I remember from like Vanilla WoW, like satyrs and harpies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're pissed off cousins, and that's just. So the one thing that I can agree with you on is I'm kind of sick of just demons in general.
Yeah, I'm sick of that shit.
Like, just like I remember, like Hellfire Peninsula quests.
Anything that looks like that.
Yeah, just like all those 3 like demon configurations, and they all look the goddamn same.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, but for the most part, I did kind of expect there to be a demon-based expansion at some point.
Yeah.
I just hope they do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not... I think it would be a mistake to have more timey-wimey bullshit, although I tend to like that stuff. Mm-hmm. To do it 2 expansions in a row, I think would be a mistake.
Yeah, so if this isn't like we resume the timeline as intended,
that would not be good for them. Like, statistically. But I think that if they were to just, like, continue on the timeline and just kind of put the Durrani Legion to rest, there might actually be some worth to that.
Yep.
Because I do think this expansion had to happen at some point.
I guess.
Like, a one that is actually about defeating the Burning Legion.
Where's my dwarf expansion? Where's dwarves?
It's Hearthstone.
Fuck off!
Oh wait, no.
No.
Oh, those are gnomes. Never mind.
Where are dwarves? Dwarves matter. Hashtag dwarves matter.
Dwarves' lives matter. What makes you think that dwarves don't matter?
Because nobody gives a shit about dwarf lore except for people who like dwarves, which apparently is not Blizzard.
Well, we had to. Well, those who care about the undead or the Forsaken had to wait like 100 expansions to even see Sylvanas Windrunner come up again, and now she's listed among the important characters in this expansion.
Yeah. So dwarf lore.
Everyone will get their day.
Where's my dwarf expansion?
Where's my dwarf expansion?
As far as I know, fucking Magni Bronzebeard is still in Carbonite in Ironforge.
Why don't they just like break that fool out?
I don't know.
They could probably do that. They're fucking dwarves.
That's probably a reason.
Oh, okay. Isn't his like daughter like the Queen of Iron?
I don't fucking know.
I think I asked you that question once, and
I didn't know either.
I found out that I was wrong.
Yeah.
I think we eventually realized I was wrong.
We gotta wrap this up. I'm sleepy.
Yeah, I know. Hey, apparently, remember those Viking type dudes from Outlands?
Yeah.
Apparently, they are back.
Cool. Where are the fucking walrus people? Those people are fucking hella tight.
They're probably they're like, Forsaken Isles, that is not nearly the right climate for us to live in.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But yeah, apparently, I'm reading the Sylvanas Windrunner synopsis here. Apparently, she's got beef with the Valkyr.
I mean, they kind of seem like dickheads.
She must decide how far she'll go to protect her people and whether they're more precious to her than her soul.
Sure.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They seem to be like hopefully they wrap up this demon thing. They include some characters that didn't get included in other ones. Hopefully, just Khadgar just never exists again ever.
Oh, can we kill Khadgar?
Never see him again.
I'll be.
I don't even necessarily need to kill him.
I'll be hyped
to be banished to obscurity. Like
kill Khadgar.
You know, he just has to be as obscure in the future as like Chen Stormstout.
Aw.
Like someone that was just like important and then just
Chen's
like
my dude.
Nobody fucking cares. Well, Chen Stormstout's great.
Chen's my dude.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude, but he doesn't matter anymore.
That sucks.
It's sad. It sucks. It's terrible. Yeah, news.
I don't think this doesn't matter.
No, nothing matters.
Dark Souls 3 looks cool.
Yeah, there's a Dark Souls 3 trailer out there. It looks really cool.
Yep.
The enemy design is like awesome. Yep. It looks really fluid and fun.
Hey, guess what? Shields are back.
Yep.
Sound the alarm. Shields are back. Everybody rejoice.
It looks, I mean, clearly it's running at a really good frame rate now. Looks super fluid. Looks very dynamic.
You know what's super neat?
The enemy design is just a couple bosses they showed.
Yeah.
It's the enemy design.
That game looks really nice, and Dark Souls games don't really look nice.
No, definitely not. The first one. One of the things I like about the first game is how not nice it looks.
But this one looks really nice, and I'm excited to explore a nice-looking Dark Souls game.
It's coming out in like 6 months.
Seriously?
It's coming out in like February or March or something.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, right? It's amazing it's taken them this long to show us a gameplay trailer, but apparently it was playable at Gamescom.
That's exciting. Oh yeah, I think people on game stop websites. I think people on websites played it, and
yeah, it was definitely one of the things, one of the bigger things to come out of Gamescom.
Oh man,
some other BS. Microsoft had this press conference. They talked about a little bit about backwards compatibility. I can't remember what exactly was said though. And Battletoads are going to be in Killer Instinct Season 3.
Cool.
Yeah, whatever. I for some reason cannot remember any of the important facts. All I remember
is they didn't show Cuphead, and fuck that.
Yeah, but Cuphead's coming. We know what Cuphead looks like.
I want to see more Cuphead. It's not enough Cuphead.
I know you do. Well, you just wait till the game is out, and then you can just play it. And you probably won't like it as much as you want to like it.
I won't like it so bad.
Yeah. Okay, so I found... Oh, they showed Scalebound, which is like Platinum Games' attempt at having a...
fucking dope.
I have not seen enough of the gameplay footage, but it's a Platinum Games game, and they make good games. And I think that if I ever have a chance of liking a Monster Hunter it'll be that.
So,
game.
How much of that trailer did you see?
Virtually none.
So that trailer got fucking stupid so fast, and the good stupid. So like there were like some nighty dudes walking around in a field, and then a dude on a dragon shows up. He's got like a dragon arm, and then he's like talking to the dragon like he knows what's going on. And then all of a sudden he puts on his fucking...
it was like the intro. He was like, yeah, let's go kill these guys. Dragon's like,
Brrr.
Yeah, I completely agree, Dragon.
They're like,
I hear you,
There's
man.
like some witty banter that you only hear one side of because you're not a dragon person. And then the dragon dude puts on headphones, some like dubstep shit starts playing in-game. And then...
What?
Exactly. You should watch it. It's fucking hysterical. I laughed out loud for the entire trailer.
I'm starting to watch it right now.
This game looks dumb, and I'm excited.
Yeah, so it's... I'm going to look at exactly what this guy... Hideki Kamiya?
Sure. That's the name.
Is... So he's worked for Clover and Platinum Games, and he did... So he's done Bayonetta, Okami, Beautiful Joe, Devil May Cry, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil... Actually, I don't know if he really directed those, but let me find exactly... Those are all games that he's worked on. And so he says that this is the biggest game they've ever made. Mm-hmm. My body is ready.
Mm-hmm.
He was supervisor on Bayonetta 2, which that game was good. He did Wonderful 101. Beautiful Joe, I already said that. This guy's got quite the pedigree in terms of like action games.
This game sounds super dumb, and I'm excited. I want to play it
because Dubstep Nights.
It's Dubstep Dragon Combat Simulator.
They should probably just call it that instead. Yep.
It's a way better name.
They should officially change the name. Dubstep Dragon Simulator. 2016.
Do you want to know a thing?
Yeah.
Apparently, that Beyond Eyes game came out.
Oh, it's out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they like stealth released it during that that press conference they did.
Go buy it.
It's that game where you are a blind girl and you can only see like slightly around her. It's kind of like how demon hunters are going to play in World of Warcraft.
That's not true.
Legion.
That's not true.
Well, I know. You can still see the whole field, but apparently, like, they detect enemies in unique ways.
Basically, they're blind and they can see better than every other class because
they can see people through.
They can
walls
auto
and
detect
stuff.
Through walls and stealth. So,
oh man, you just like fight alongside the dragon.
Yeah, you
the dragon's just
you
there.
like have a dragon and he's your fucking pal and he's like
you just have a
fucking enormous.
You have a dragon. You have a dragon pet. But he's like 15 stories tall.
It's fucking hilarious. And then
it's not 15 stories.
And then like at some point, like you like fucking
oh god, this looks so
fusion ha with your dragon, and then you become a super dragon dude. And I don't know, it sounds so dumb, and I want to play it.
I need this game in my life. Do we have any idea when this game is coming out?
Not soon.
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Not soon.
But I mean, it's running like he's playing it on stage at this press conference.
You know what's even better? This
game definitely
exists.
This
game is 4-player co-op.
Yep.
The fuck?
I know it's gonna like all online.
I think so. I think it's holiday
also. I don't know if we know the specifics of the exclusivity of this game.
Don't know.
At least it's a Microsoft thing. At least for now.
I think it's
games don't stay exclusive forever for very long.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless, no, I don't know.
That game looks dope.
I mean, yeah, looks like super fun.
I'm gonna do that thing where I delete news.
Well, I'm seeing you delete it. I'm not gonna remember. I'm not gonna forget that. That's interesting.
No, it's
you just don't like Destiny.
This podcast is too long.
It's absolutely too long. I'll talk about it later when it's more relevant.
Good.
There's just some information about the new Destiny expansion came out when like, I think it's because Game Informer did their cover story on it and they released it, and now, like, they got some pretty new exclusive information. We will discuss this later. And he deleted something else. That Final Fantasy 12 thing that I just need to give up on. The composer of the game accidentally said that they were remaking it or something.
Yeah, they fucked up.
But he meant like they were redoing the music, but also maybe that's because they're going to put the new music in a remade version of the game. Yeah, I don't know. Basically,
They fucked up.
Basically, Square Enix has said that's not what's happening here. Like, we're not remaking it. Or like, we're sorry we confused everyone. But also, that's what they would say if they were remaking that game.
They're not remaking that game.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
We know nothing. I still want them to remake that game. Okay. Do we have time to talk about the free games?
I mean, I'm really tired.
Okay, I'll make it brief. It's always brief.
No, it's not.
Are you too tired to play Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes for the Xbox One free this
Still haven't
month?
played that. Need to play that before September 1st.
Well, if you didn't own it before, it's free on Xbox One.
I think I've picked up this game when it was free on both consoles.
Was it free on PS4 as well?
That's the PS4. Yes. It happened at least a month ago, I think.
It happened. It must have happened last year because I don't have it on PS4. Actually, maybe I just didn't download it because I already owned it. So the other game we're getting the second half of August into the first half of September, we're getting How to Survive Storm Warning Edition, which I think is like an action RPG / survival game. Which sounds kind of stupid, but it's actually a game that I've had mild interest in, and I think free is a good price for. Xbox 360, they're getting the Metro games, Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light, which I think is kind of cool. They're just being like, here you go, here's the two of them. I never played those games, but I heard they were really good.
I don't know.
Yeah, Ryan doesn't know.
Ryan doesn't know.
PS Systems. Let's see which one of these is the most concise here for me. So, Lara Croft, Temple of Osiris, which is the hot sequel to Lara Croft and the forgettable title, which is like an isometric, like dual stick puzzle solving shooter with co-op for last generation consoles, is back, and you play as Lara Croft or this Tutankhamun looking motherfucker and some other people. I think it's 4-player co-op, and it's much the same thing. But it's like original Lara Croft. It's not Rise of the Tomb Raider Lara Croft.
Got it. Like PS1.
Yeah, it's more like that.
Okay.
You know, dual pistols and all that stuff.
Yay.
But it's like a little kind of downloadable bite-sized isometric shooter / puzzle solver thing. Limbo is on PS4. That game that's been out
forever,
for decades, and has been on every system ever is out.
I never played it.
Me neither.
Okay.
The silhouette of a child dies in brutal ways in that game.
Nice.
It's like a 2D like not platformer.
2D
/ adventure game. Well, it's not a platformer because you don't really like jump from platform to platform like Mario. It's just you kind of like mantle on objects and push things into the way and try to not get your child killed. Sound Shapes is free on all systems, PS4, PS3, and PS Vita. It's part platformer, part music creator, according to their description here. I've not played it yet, but I've heard reasonably good things. Seems like a once again, free is good.
Free is my favorite place.
It's done by. It's got some like actually licensed music in it, art by different creators, which is really cool. Like the people who worked on Super Time Force. One of the guys who did some music for Guitar Hero. It's got at least one level animated by the guys who did Sword and Sorcery. So it looks cool. Like I said, it's free. I'll play it. Stealth Inc. 2, a game of clones, which is that like kind of simple stealth level based 2D game where you sneak through vents and avoid cameras. I've never heard anything about this game either way, honestly, but it's prolific in terms of showing up on multiple consoles. God of War Ascension for the PS3, which I've heard is not good.
But it's free.
It's definitely free. This is the game that added multiplayer to the series, the one thing that God of War never needed.
That's true.
It's almost as inappropriate as putting multiplayer into BioShock.
Slightly less.
Almost.
Yeah, slightly less.
Still, I think BioShock 2 is the most gratuitous, unnecessary addition of multiplayer in the history of all games. I think it's got this weird mechanic in God of War Ascension where you can like kind of rewind time a couple of seconds, not dynamically, but like you use it to solve puzzles. Like a tower. I remember seeing this demo of like this tower crumbles. You rewind it like 5 seconds to when like the pieces are in the middle of crumbling, and you can like jump between them. I don't know. God of War games are kind of take it or leave it. It's stupid, simple puzzles, a little bit button mashy. They're okay. And Castle Storm for the PS3 and PS Vita. If you have an Xbox One with a gold account, you already have this game. It seems to be like a half tower defense, half... What's that game you're really good at, Ryan? The one with the
Swords and
Vikings
Soldiers.
and the Chinese. Yeah, it seems like Swords and Soldiers, but more complex and more serious. You actually build a base with walls and everything.
Fuck that.
But it's like 2D, so it's still just your guys run in a straight line. Although Swords and Soldiers,
Yep.
You know what it's called? I love that game simply for its simplicity.
The game's tight.
I just love that it's just like make a unit. He goes over there. He dies. And eventually something happens in the terms of the balance of power. That's a fun game. God, I want them to re-release Final Fantasy 12.
I don't.
Shit. What do you care?
I want the world to be as I see it.
Well, I think you should want it at least a little bit just so that I can be happy.
That's going to do it for the Bear vs. Man cast.
Oh, man.
We're on the internet. Find us.
It's not gonna be very hard.
Yeah, we're on Twitter at Bear
We have a
vs. Man.
website.
We have a website, bearvsman.com. If you want us to talk about things you care about, send us an email to questions@bearvsman.com.
Ryan, I've been thinking. I think
Yes.
that we should go looking for some emails, and depending on how many we have, we should maybe answer some of them soon.
Whoa. Are you talking about a reader mail special?
Maybe. Ooh. I'm just saying. But if we can't find any emails to answer, then we're just not going to do that.
Yes, if you want an email special,
you do.
You do. You want it.
You
it's
might not know
fun.
it, but you do.
Send us email.
Check out our Vine account.
It's good.
We make some Vines. Ryan's latest one is a smash hit in the world of Vine.
I drank a lot of Listerine.
He did it. He did it for the Vine. Basically.
Hashtag do it for the Vine.
Ryan, real quick.
Nicholas.
Now let's talk about Vine. Tell you about it's this hot Vine meme that I've noticed that I don't understand.
I will gladly explain it to you.
And it involves, like, I think you yell the word "run,"
yes,
and then music plays.
Yes,
a very particular music plays. Well, I'm not sure there's anything to get, but I don't get.
So
it's just a song.
Yeah, it's just a thing that people think is funny. That there's some dramatic music that goes dun 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 run, and then something happens.
So there's that's actually like a song. Someone made that song like they with the music, and then put it like the audio clip of someone saying "run." Like they made that.
I think so. Yeah.
And then you saw that like they heard that song and they said, "I could make vines with this."
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Okay, that's a pretty good Vine meme. Almost as good as that lawnmower.
That's not even a meme. That's just an account.
That one guy he only makes Vines using that.
Yes. So the thing about Vine memes is it's only a meme if like 100,000 Vine accounts all make a Vine about that thing. So like a couple weeks ago, it was "What are those?" That was the meme.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with that?
No, not at all.
So it's like there was a guy who posted a video somewhere where he's walking up to a policeman and he's like, "Hey officer, blah blah blah, you're doing a good job," but then he pans down to his shoes and gets real close and just goes, "What are those?" And then everybody started doing it. And then that's dead now. So
that's yeah, of course.
Because
it reminds me
Vine trends
of
last
time,
for like a week tops.
It reminds me of the time I spent browsing ytmnd.com.
Mm-hmm. It's very similar.
Where fads would just like literally over the course of 24 hours just be gone.
Vine is very similar.
And even ones that lasted like a week, like one day you just wake up and you go on you'rethemannowdog.com and there was the evidence that trend ever existed was gone.
Yep.
And then you just make fun of the people who are still using old trends. Like if someone were to release a look at those Vine now, just straight ridicule.
Yep.
Just insulting them because they're way behind the times.
That's true.
That's the internet for you. That's bearversusman.com. And that's going to do it.
That's going to do it. Please send us an email.
This podcast is over. Yeah, do it. Ask us about video games or ask us about what color socks we wear or ask us about our addresses.
Ask us about Boxers versus Bruce.
And our social security numbers.
Ask us about our current financial situations.
I don't know if I feel comfortable.
I mean, you just
ask us about why our podcast is just recorded at random times and then released whenever.
Yeah, ask us about that. I might have an answer.
I don't mind. Ask Ryan why he's so bad at editing.
Ask me why I forget to take out the ad music sometimes.
It's because he just doesn't. Like, he just goes, hey, that's good enough.
And
then he stops.
Sometimes I don't have time to care.
Yeah, and that's fine. I couldn't do it any better.
Questions at bearversusman.com.
Goodbye.